Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Guys, in this session I'm going to talk about optional class here. Guys, this class came as a part of JDK 1.8 version, and that class is used to handle the null pointer exception in more elegant way. Now let's see how to create the object of that class. So there are three ways we can use that ways to create the object of a optional class here. Now let's see the first way. So by using the empty method. So that optional class having these three methods, and by using that three methods we can create the optional class object. Okay. Now let's see how we can create the object by using the empty method, op method and op nullable method one by one here. So by using the empty method we can create only empty optional class object. Only empty object. Okay, by using the empty method we can create only empty object of a optional class. Now by using the op method we can create only non-empty. Okay, by using the op method we can create only non-empty object of a optional class, and by using the of nullable method we can create the empty and non-empty object of a optional class. So this will handle this both case, empty and non-empty object. So this method is mostly used in the market instead of these two methods. Now let's see how we can create the object in a practical way. Let me go with this empty method. Let's see how we can create the object by using the empty method. Let me write the optional dot, because these three methods are present inside the optional class. That's why we need optional class, which is available under the java.util package. If you can see here in the import section, and let's enter the dot. If you enter the dot here, you will get the three methods: empty and off and up nullable. So these three methods we can use here. So let's create the object by using the empty method, and let's print that reference variable on a console, and let's observe the output of this empty object. Okay, I have started this program now, and let's see the output on a console here itself. See, if you can see here, we'll get the output as a optional.empty, because we created the empty object. What we created the empty object. That's why we got the this object. We don't provided any value to this optional class, we just provided the empty value. Now we saw by using the empty method. Let's see how to create the object by using the op method. Let me write the optional dot of, and let's pass the some value. Without value it will not accept, because as I mentioned here, it will create only non-empty object. Okay, it will create only non-empty object. Let me pass some value to that optional class. I'm going to pass the sam here. Let's assign the variable up as and let's print that variable on console, and let's observe the output here. Let me rerun that same program. Now the expected output should be SAM. See, the expected output is optional of SAM. What is the expected output here? Expected output is a optional of SAM. Now I just wanted to get the SAM. I don't want this optional of SAM. Then you can use this get method to get only content or that value of the optional class. So what we pass here, we pass SAM as a value to this optional class, and to retrieve that value from the optional class you have to use this get method to retrieve it. Then see, once you use this get method we'll get the SAM as output. Now let me remove this. I don't want to use this get method as of now. There are other methods as well. I'll be going to cover this in next few minutes. Now let's see how to create the object of optional class by using the op nullable method. Let me add here optional dot no like of nullable one. Let me pass some content here. Some SAM will be there, and let me assign the reference variable for this optional class object, and let me print that same object here. See, I have created the object by using the of nullable method, and I have passed the value to this optional class, that is the SAM. Okay, let's see the what is the expected output here on a console. I have started it. See, we'll get the same output as the op method. What we get the optional op SAM. See, then what is the difference between the op and of nullable? The difference is that it can accept the null value. So we cannot pass the null value to this op. If we try to pass the null value to this op, we will get the exception. Let's see first the op nullable method how behave it when we pass the null value here. Let me rerun the same program and let's see the thing. Okay, the program is executed properly. You can see the output when we pass the null, then we'll get the optional.empty as we got this output when we created this object by using the empty method. See, same output we got when we pass the null. That means, as I mentioned here, by using the op nullable method, we can able to create empty or non-empty and sorry, empty and non-empty object. We can able to create the empty and non-empty object by using the of nullable method. So that's all it. Suppose let me comment this one and let me try the same one with the op method. Let's observe the behavior of the op method. Then how what it will return. Let me run the program. Let's see whether it is able to create the object or not of that optional class. See, will get an exception. Why will get an exception? Because as I mentioned, this will create only non-empty object. When we pass any null object, null value to that optional class by using the op method, then in that case we'll definitely get the null pointer exception. The rule is saying something like this. Now, see, we got the difference between it. So this method is used to create the only empty object. Op method is used to create the only non-empty object, and of nullable method is used to create the empty and non-empty object. So this is the three methods we can use to create the optional class object. Now let's see how we can avoid the null pointer exception by using this optional class. So before going ahead, let's see how we are handling the null pointer exception before or without optional class. Suppose take an example. I have one service. Okay, I have one service. So which is used to update the user record. Which is used to update the user record. User record. Okay. So this is my service. When I hit this service, when I hit this service like this by using the slash update. Okay. When I hit this service by using the slash update, then I'll get the two responses. If record get update, then I will get the update as a response. And if something went wrong while updating that record, then I will get the null value. So this is my scenario. I have one endpoint or I have one method which returns the, suppose let's take example. For the example, I'll create one public static update user. This is my service, and let's type the return type as a string. this is my service, and this service returns the, or this service able to, or this service is responsible to update the user details. Whatever user data I pass here, so that data will update to that particular user by using this service. Now let's see, this service sometime returns the updated. In some cases, this will return the null, because if something went wrong, this will return the null, and if something going, something going good or all good, then in that case it will return the update. Now let's see the first case, like positive case, that means where our record getting updated. Let's handle this situation. Now I am going to call this method update user. Let's get the response in one variable. Now we don't know what this service return. What this service return? It can return the update. It can return the null. Then in that case, how we can handle it? We can handle like this. First, we have to check whether it is response contain the null or not null. If it is not contain the not null, then in that case, go and print that response on the console. If it is not null, if it is null, in that case, go and print the not updated. This is my criteria. Now let's see how it works. Let me rerun the same program. Now build getting started. Okay, okay. Now see, program got executed properly, and we got the output as a